Have you ever noticed how the smallest daily routines can shape the tone of your entire day? Sometimes even your entire mood? After 65, the seemingly simple choices we make, what we do first thing in the morning, how we move our bodies, when we eat, and even how we think begin to carry more weight than we realize. They're no longer just habits. They quietly become the framework for how we age, how we feel, and how connected we remain to our sense of purpose. Let's take Irene and Paul, for example. Irene begins her mornings sitting quietly on her porch with a warm cup of tea, listening to the birds and letting the sun gently touch her face. Paul, on the other hand, rushes from bed to TV, watching the news while skipping breakfast and worrying about the world. Both are in their early 70s. One ends the day feeling grounded and calm. The other feels anxious and strangely tired, even though he hasn't done much. What changed? Not their age, not their health records. It was simply their habits, their daily rhythms. Irene had found small moments of peace and routine that nourished her. Paul had unknowingly created a loop of tension and disconnection. It's these tiny details, often overlooked, that can quietly pull us toward better energy, better sleep, even a stronger memory, or away from them. Many of us don't realize that what we do daily after 65 has more impact on our physical, emotional, and cognitive health than ever before. The body is more sensitive, the mind more responsive, and the spirit more in need of meaningful nourishment. And while some habits feel harmless, harmless enough to brush off as just the way I do things, they might be gradually creating problems that are harder to reverse later. That's why today's conversation matters so much. Not to scare, not to scold, but to gently bring attention to five of the most easy to miss habits that many older adults develop, often unintentionally, and how they quietly shape the way we age. Because your days still matter deeply, and the way you live each one, that's where your strength grows. Let's begin with a quiet trap that catches many of us: spending too much time indoors. Janet, 69, once loved her daily walk to the bakery or a stroll through the park. But after retiring, and especially during the long isolation of recent years, those walks faded. Her world slowly shrank to the size of her living room. At first, it felt comforting, safe, familiar. But then she started noticing more stiffness in her knees, foggier mornings, and a surprising sense of restlessness. It's easy to understand how this happens. The couch is inviting. The TV offers company. And when the weather's unpredictable or joints ache, staying inside just feels simpler. But here's the gentle truth: a lack of natural sunlight and movement can quietly affect our mood, bones, and even sleep cycles. Studies have shown that just 15 to 30 minutes of natural light each morning helps regulate your body's internal clock, what doctors call the circadian rhythm. It helps you sleep better, digest better, and even feel more balanced emotionally. And when you pair that with light movement, like walking or stretching outdoors, the benefits multiply. Being indoors too much can slowly lead to vitamin D deficiency, weakened muscles, and a sense of isolation that may not be immediately noticeable, but gradually erodes our emotional well-being. The good news: reversing this habit is simple and gentle. You don't need an hour-long hike. Just step out in the morning, breathe in deeply, stretch your arms, and feel the sun on your skin. Even watering plants, feeding birds, or simply sitting on the balcony can reconnect you with nature's quiet energy. Like Janet, once you begin again, bit by bit, you'll notice more clarity in your thoughts, steadier energy, and a renewed sense of connection to the world around you. Because the outside world isn't just out there, it's also where a brighter version of your day begins. Alice, now 72, always starts her day with toast and jam and a cup of tea. It's light, it's quick, and it's been her go-to for years. But lately, she's noticed her muscles feeling weaker and a bit of lightheadedness mid-morning. Her doctor gently pointed out she was skipping the one nutrient her body now needs the most in the morning: protein. After 65, our bodies naturally begin to lose muscle mass, a process called sarcopenia. It's a slow but steady loss, and one of the best ways to slow it down is to start the day with a protein-rich breakfast. Why the morning? Because that's when your body is ready to absorb and use those nutrients to power your movement and maintain strength for the day ahead. It doesn't have to be complicated. A boiled egg, some Greek yogurt, a handful of nuts with oatmeal, even a scoop of protein in a fruit smoothie. These simple additions help maintain balance, prevent mid-morning energy dips, and preserve muscle strength, key for independence and fall prevention. Skipping protein can also affect how full you feel during the day. Without it, you might find yourself reaching for sugary snacks or overeating later, which creates a cycle of unstable energy and digestion issues. Alice made a small change, adding a boiled egg and cottage cheese to her breakfast a few days a week. Within a month, she felt stronger walking to her garden, and even her afternoon naps felt more restful. So if breakfast is your moment of peace, let it be your moment of power. 2. Add a little protein. Feed your muscles. Feed your future. Because strong days start with strong choices, even the quiet ones at the kitchen table. Paul, 74, is a movie lover. Every afternoon, he sits down to enjoy his favorite old classics. Then it's tea time, then some reading, and before he knows it, he's been sitting for 5 or 6 hours straight. Sound familiar? Prolonged sitting, even in comfort, can quietly harm circulation, stiffen joints, and increase the risk of heart issues. Our bodies were made for gentle motion, not constant activity, but rhythmic movement throughout the day. After 65, sitting for long stretches without breaks can also lead to slower digestion, back discomfort, and even sleep disturbances. It might not feel like a big deal at first, but over time, it can chip away at energy, flexibility, and metabolism. Here's the hopeful part: you don't need a gym. You don't need a routine. You just need a rhythm. Set a soft alarm or keep a kitchen timer nearby. Every 45 to 60 minutes, stand up. Stretch your arms. Roll your shoulders. Walk to the kitchen for a glass of water. Step outside and look at the sky. Even 2 to 3 minutes of gentle movement can reset your system. Paul began a 3-minute walk rule. Every hour, he walks around the house, sometimes to check the mailbox, sometimes to water his plants. Within weeks, he noticed less swelling in his feet, and surprisingly, his sleep felt deeper. It's these small motion breaks that keep the blood flowing, the joints moving, and the mind refreshed. Your chair is a place of rest, not a place to live. Get up, move gently. Remind your body that it's still alive and strong, because stillness is peaceful, but not when it lasts too long. There's a quiet habit many of us develop as we age. We stop naming our feelings. Instead, we distract ourselves. We watch more TV. We snack without hunger. We brush off sadness by saying, "I'm fine." But beneath that surface, emotions keep stirring. At 68, Leonard lost his closest friend. Instead of talking about the grief, he kept busy organizing files, cleaning, reading. Months passed. His daughter noticed he seemed distant, less joyful, more easily irritated. Eventually, over tea, he opened up, and it was like a dam had been gently lifted. Emotional numbing, whether through overscheduling, overreading, or even over-socializing, can feel like a safe escape. But over time, it leads to increased anxiety, disconnected relationships, and even physical fatigue. Naming your emotions, saying, "I feel lonely," "I'm afraid of the future," or even, "I miss being needed," doesn't make you weaker. It makes you more connected to yourself. Journaling, gentle conversations, prayer, or even quietly sitting with your own thoughts can help you release what's been carried too long. Because your heart, like your body, needs motion. It needs expression. And when emotions are named, they begin to soften. There's courage in vulnerability and peace in truth. Let yourself feel fully, because every season of life deserves that honesty. So here we are. 5 habits. Each one so common, so easy to overlook. Staying indoors too long. Skipping protein. Sitting for too long. Numbing emotions. And yes, underestimating the power of small daily choices. But now that you see them, you're already more powerful than you were before. Awareness is the first, most beautiful step to change. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need grand plans. You just need the courage to notice, the willingness to shift, and the trust that you still hold the pen in your own story. You've lived decades filled with growth, strength, and wisdom. And even now, especially now, your daily choices are shaping your next chapter. Go outside tomorrow, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Add an egg or a handful of nuts to your breakfast. Set a gentle reminder to stand and stretch. And when you feel something rising inside, don't silence it. Give it a name. Let it breathe. You are still becoming, still unfolding, still deeply alive. And we're here with you on this journey of wiser choices, stronger habits, and deeper connection to yourself and the life around you. If this message touched you or reminded you of someone who might need it, share it with them. And if you'd like more gentle, grounded insight like this, subscribe, leave a comment, and let us know how your days are evolving. Because every day after 65 is not a winding down, it's a deepening. And how you live, each one matters more than ever. Thank you for being here. You are seen, you are valued, and you are deeply capable of gentle, lasting change.